But one you and I are on together here, and this one goes back to that Colts and Jags game. And it's Anthony Richardson. And I know we just said the range of outcomes for Anthony Richardson is very, very wide. What is not, in my opinion, a wide range of outcomes is the fact that he's going to run the ball. And I think he's going to run the ball pretty often, actually. And we are sitting right now at 46.5 rushing yards for Anthony Richardson. I don't think we're going to see a number that low, maybe the rest of the season here after week 1. And I'm thinking that everybody out there should take advantage of a 46.5 rushing prop on Anthony Richardson.
I was clicking around, and in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting this to be around 73. And when I saw 46.5, I was like, oh, there's my first prop. This one's pretty easy. I think he gets 10 to 15 carries tomorrow. With the issues that they have in the backfield, the fact that he's going to have scramble carries, and the fact that Shane Steichen called a bunch of design runs for Jalen Hurts up in Philadelphia, it all adds up to 10 to 15 carries. That means he needs to average 3 yards a carry to get over this number.
Exactly. So if we go back and say, like, okay, what's the closest comp? It's probably everyone's going to point to Lamar Jackson, right? So let's go back to the last full season that Lamar Jackson was healthy. 7, 16, 9, 7, 9, 16, 13, 11, 13, 13, 9, 10, 13, 11. That's Lamar Jackson carries in the game that year.
That's with good running backs.
Yeah, and I was about to say, and that actually was a guy that had a decent running back stable and had been in the league a year as well, and so he had a chance to kind of adjust and not be as gun-shy, maybe go to a second read and all of that. I think we're going to see 6 to 8 design carries, another 3 or 4 where he's panicking and takes off running and all that. And I think, like I said, I think we get to that kind of 11 to 12-ish carries in this game. And if that's the case, then we're going to get to this 46.5, no doubt about it. He's going to rip off a 15-plus run in this game for sure. And then, yeah, some of these other ones are only going to go for 3 or 4 yards. But once you get that 15-yarder, which, again, I think is inevitable, then we don't have very far to go after that.
This is 5-step drop and throw it to your first read or take off. That's what we're going to see tomorrow from him. I think this is going, again, I thought this was going to be mid-70s on this rushing prop.
So let's take a look. You have one for DJ Moore.
I do. Give me the under. Everyone's talking about this new weapon. I agree. DJ Moore is going to be a phenomenal new weapon for Justin Fields. There's one problem. Zaire Alexander plays for the Green Bay Packers, who is by far the best cornerback in that division. I think he is going to make life very difficult for DJ Moore. We saw DJ Moore bust out a couple long plays that were off short passes. Packers, #1 defense on pass plays within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage last year. This is a defense that defends what DJ Moore does well and has a cornerback to be able to team up against him. So I think this is going to be a tough weekend for DJ Moore. I took the under 49.5 pass yards.
Let's talk to the other way that this could get home for you, which is the fact that if you do run the Packers out there without their top 2 options and they get down in this game pretty big, then the urge to throw the ball for the Bears is out of there as well,
gone,
right? Yeah, it's gone. They're just going to run the ball, and they're going to run the ball a ton. They have a decent running back stable, by the way, like 3 guys deep, and so on top of Justin Fields. So they really got 4 running backs, right? So you're not going to see him throwing the ball all over the place should they end up kind of getting ahead in this game, which, again, is not out of the range of outcomes considering what the Packers might be rolling out there this week at the wide receiver position. I mean, you might have just Jordan Love throwing to nobodies.
You're also going to have a limited snap. I mean, the Packers are going to try and run the football. If the Packers are successful at running the football, like they have been for the past year against this Bears team, they're going to run it quite a bit, and you're going to see a lot less offensive snaps for Chicago as well. So there's a bunch of reasons why I point toward this DJ Moore under.
So this one is interesting because you're going to have to wait to play this one until we get 90 minutes before game time to figure out if he's even going or not, but you do like Darren Waller.
I do like Darren Waller. We talked about he's the linchpin of this offense. If he goes, he is going to be a focal point. We saw it when he played during the preseason. He was the piece that really made the clock tick for that Giants offense. They're going to make sure he gets the football. They're going to line him up in the slot. They're going to line him up as a tight end. I wouldn't be shocked if we see him line up as a fullback. I love Kafka and Dable together, be able to scheme up ways to get these type of guys open. He is the ultimate weapon for this Giants offense. If he's healthy, I think he gets a boatload of targets. And I think Daniel Jones is someone who likes tight ends anyway. So for me, this is just a spot where if we get a healthy Waller, he's going to go over that 50.5 yards.
I got 2 other ones in my account. I have over on rush attempts for Jamal Williams. If you did not know, Jamal Williams now plays for the Saints. And we were talking about the Kamara being suspended, and then also the running back room going to be down a running back as well. So there's not a lot of guys to get these carries, right? And so whenever you look, as long as they're not getting their doors blown off, which, again, we just talked about, I don't think that the Tennessee Titans offense, in my opinion, is going to be all that explosive. So I don't ever see the Saints, especially with this defense, looking up at a 17-point deficit or anything like that over the course of this game. And if that's going to be the case, I think Jamal Williams, just given the lack of the running back room that they have there, there's just not a lot of dudes. They're not a lot of players. I mean, the one guy's suspended, another guy's hurt. It's just not a lot of guys for them to give the ball to. So long as this game doesn't play out of hand, which, again, I don't think we do. The total kind of dictates that it probably won't play out of hand. I think he gets over the 14.5 rush attempts. Wouldn't surprise me to see him kind of get more in that 17 to 18 range when it's all said and done. The other one in my account, Dameon Pierce over 13.5 receiving yards. I actually love this one a lot because I had my projections have him at 24.5, so like nearly double where we're sitting right now. You have a double-digit underdog that most likely at some point is going to have to abandon the run and just start throwing the ball all over the place. And so you need 3 dump-offs basically to Dameon Pierce in garbage time for you to get here, because what happens in garbage time? They play super soft coverage. And so all you need is CJ Stroud to look around, and they're sitting in soft zone, and and it's just a dump off, and then he goes and gets 8 yards and he falls over, and then you do it again, and then you're over this number. And
you got a terrible offensive line, so you know that CJ Stroud is going to check the ball down multiple times here. I think both of those are very good looks, both on Jamal Williams and Dameon Pierce there. He is going to get 4 or 5 catches in this game. And if he gets that, there's no way he doesn't go over that 13.5.
It's a classic case of if the game goes as if the spread dictates, then you're going to eventually get to a point where you abandon the run, and you're going to have to start throwing the ball almost every single down. If that's the case, we just need a couple of dump offs. And as long as he's out on the field, which he should be, because this is a guy that is by far their most talented dude in the backfield that they've got there, I think we get there with this one. Again, it's so long. Who knows? Maybe the Texans come out and we're going to look up and the Texans are sitting there 17 points up on the Ravens or something like that.
CJ Stroud's throwing 3 interceptions, so we start that flag out well. Because most interceptions, 20-1, give me CJ Stroud, and then he can start checking it down after he gets scared from throwing all those picks.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.